Dzień dobry moi drodzy, z tej strony Max, a dzisiaj witam was w kolejnym odcinku z Genshina. Tym razem robimy, no właściwie kontynuujemy Liłę Arc Conquesta. Wydaje mi się, że on będzie dosyć długi, bo chyba tu będzie chyba ta finałowa walka z Childem i z Osialem prawdopodobnie, czy jakkolwiek ten stwór się nagrywał. Nazywa, Boże. Ja już mylę słowa, nie? Ja dopiero co zacząłem gadać i ja już mam problemy tutaj jakieś. That's pretty high up. Czy tam jest skrzynka? Tam coś jest na górze, ale ja nie widzę co. You're only realizing that now we should have asked that missionary gun you.
Well, since we want to go to the Jade Chamber, heading to its location on the map is the sensible thing to do. Let's look around. There has to be a way up there nearby.
Wydarzyło się w sumie trochę? O Jezus.
Hey, look!
Pomiędzy nagraniami, ale do tego chyba zaraz przejdę.
This is the right place. It must have something to do with the Jade
Maybe it's the
Chamber.
way to the Jade Chamber. It looks like some sort of trap.
Yes, this must be the way.
Ciekawy sposób. Jest skrzyneczka. Dobrze mi się wydawało. Ale wracając, w międzyczasie jak nie nagrywałem, próbowałem sobie poszukać mojego szczęścia na banerach przeróżnych i wishowałem gdzieś tak, Boże, nie pamiętam, to był chyba listopad, czy kiedy? Po Furinę wishowałem i but we go back to Liwe and ask the Millelith.
Why?
The way up shouldn't be a secret or...
Oh, Paimon gets it. If it was a secret, Ganyu wouldn't have let us try to find it ourselves, right?
Może to jest jakiś test?
Alright, let's follow your plan. Then we can... Oh, hang on a moment. Look down there.
Ja bym wolał nie patrzeć, mam lęk wysokości.
We've gotten close to the Guizhong ballista. Paimon has a new idea.
Co ty kombinujesz?
Why don't we shoot you up to the Jade Chamber using the ballista?
No thanks, I don't have a death wish.
Oh, right. This method does seem a bit unsafe.
Czy mogę zdobyć tą skrzynkę, bo mnie świerzbi? Still, I do remember that the ballista had a scope.
Oh, that's right. Now that you mention it, we could use the Guizhong ballista to see if there's another way up nearby.
Mam nadzieję również, że nie siedzę zbyt blisko mikrofonu i przypadkowo nie robię żadnego tutaj ASMR. Zwishowanie na Furinę kompletnie mi się nie powiodło, gdyż dostałem Tainariego i to oczywiście, że musiał być cholerny Tainari, którego tak bardzo chcę na moim main koncie, a go oczywiście, że kurde bele nie mam. Nie mam i tracę nadzieję, że powoli na jakimkolwiek właśnie przegranym banerze, czy właśnie na standardzie go dostanę, bo Mona coś za bardzo lubi do mnie przychodzić. Ja jej nawet nie lubię. O matko. Kto tu znowu stoi? Z góry trochę wygląda jak takie pająki w sumie.
Halt! Who trespasses on these hallowed grounds?
We're just passing through. How? What now? These are the wilds around. Empty Tanheng. Empty to jest mountain?
Exactly.
Nie wiem.
What are you talking about? We're invited guests. What makes you think you can treat us
Ja mam
like
wrażenie, że on trzyma tą rękę jakoś tak dziwnie, ale to mi się może tylko wydawać.
No. Wait. Maybe this was Ningguang's plan all along.
To znaczy?
She pretended to invite us to the Jade Chamber, but set up a Millelith ambush here to arrest us.
I'm quite sure that's not the case.
Now Paimon's mad. You, over there. This is a trick, isn't it? How shameless.
Oni mają chyba ten identyczny model NPC z tego co widzę.
Just on guard duty. What do you mean shameless?
What nonsense! Seize these suspicious intruders at once!
Czemu wy pilnujecie balisty, czy jakkolwiek to się nazywa?
Line 'em up and knock 'em down.
Chłopy robią tylko swoją robotę, a my jesteśmy jak pora was pobić.
Stop! What's all this about?
O, catching.
These two
Catching czy
strange people
coaching?
suddenly
Ja nie wiem jak ją się
They
czyta.
seem to have designs on the Guizhong ballista.
Who are you calling strange?
We're just looking for the way to the chamber. Dlatego wcześniej pobiliśmy właśnie tych Millelithów, czy jak oni się nazywają.
You want to go to the Jade Chamber? Who are you?
We're invited guests here to look for the Lila Qixing. Who are you?
Każdy to Qixing czyta w ogóle kompletnie inaczej. The one who stand to speak.
Well, as it happens, I am one of the Liwe.
Szczerze, im dłużej patrzę na te Jezu, nie wiem jak to mogę nazwać, rogi, pseudo-kocie uszy, które ma catching. Coraz mniej w tym widzę kocie uszy. To bardziej wygląda jakby ona sobie to po prostu gdzieś jakoś tak zaplotła wokół, a bardziej te pasma włosów już bardziej przypominają kocie uszy i w pierwszej chwili ja myślałam, że ona jest faktycznie catgirl,
I'm Kuching,
ale nie jest.
the Yuheng of the Qixing. I know
Bo
of
to
you,
wygląda jakby ona
traveler.
po prostu sobie to zaplotła i może z przodu tego tak nie widać, z tyłu to bardziej ogólnie to
Didn't expect to
przypomina.
meet you here in the mountains.
Ewentualnie wygląda to trochę jak rogi, a nie jak, nie wiem, fake catgirl.
Wow. Paimon didn't think we'd meet some super rich big shot out here in the middle of nowhere either.
Mam wrażenie, że jestem dzisiaj bardzo gadatliwy, ale to dlatego, że w końcu udało mi się to nagrać, a przynajmniej mam taką nadzieję, że to się nagrywa i jestem spokojny.
I came here to investigate that occurrence. These Millilith are just here to guard the scene, not to arrest anyone.
No właśnie, więc jakby my teraz aktualnie robimy problemy.
So this was all a misunderstanding? Paimon never would have thought.
Thinking, isn't that hard, Paimon?
Anyway,
No
for a
ładnie.
mortal to be able to repair an adepti mechanism is quite the mystery, even to the Qixing.
That was...
Shh, Paimon, don't complicate the matter.
Oh, right. So, Lady Yuheng, might you have any idea why Lady Tianquan invited us to go to the Jade Chamber?
A to jest dobre pytanie, bo sam nie pamiętam.
Just call me Kuching.
No dobrze.
That Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance, or at least to not wholly side with the adepti.
We're not taking sides. We spoke with the Adepti. They want to protect Liyue as well.
When you say protect, you're referring to their sanctimonious arrogance, aren't you?
Czy to w tym kwestii poznamy się, czy jeszcze nie?
You are mortals and thus under their protection. There is no way they would have regarded you as someone with the ability to assassinate a god.
No właśnie.
Naturally, they would also regard Ningguang's locking down the area, questioning the citizenry, and pursuit of the assassin to be pointless work. Perhaps
Jestem
they
ciekaw,
even
kiedy się
wonder
pojawi
if there
pierwszy
might be a
quest z
cover-up.
Dainsleafem w sumie.
I'll say it like it is.
Bo widziałem, że
You're
po tych tam dwóch
underestimating us.
questach z Liły mogę zrobić już siał i chyba kogoś jeszcze, nie wiem czy nie hutało przypadkiem, ale jednak czekam aż skończę te wszystkie Archon questy, żeby później móc zrobić sobie resztę tych questów po kolei, to znaczy od Żongliego i tak dalej, ewentualnie w przerwie gdzieś tam na Dainsleafa.
shallow sense of time and condescension to mortals that has caused them to delay in moving against us, Qixing. Forget it. I shouldn't speak of them this way. This skepticism is mine alone, and Ningguang does not share it. Either way, I will admit that the actions of the Adepti this time were quite restrained.
Tak, ostatnio się zastanawiam, tak właściwie w jakich,
Lapis' death is indeed
co
an
ile powiedzmy
extraordinary
tych,
circumstance.
jak to się
To
nazywa,
think
regionów
that they
pojawia
would
się
call for a
Dainsleaf.
council
Bo
of
no w sumie
Adepti
tak,
rather than
pojawił
come
się w
down here
Mondstadt,
directly.
chyba nawet, nie wiem czy dwukrotnie w tym problem, bo wiem, że na pewno raz się pojawił, kiedy on tam siedział w tawernie, potem, nie pamiętam czy to było znowu Mondstadt, kiedy walczyliśmy tam z tym, przeciwko temu Heraldowi, z tym wielkim wilkiem, którego nie wiem, czy tam było, że uwięził, czy opętał, czy jakoś tak. Wydaje mi się, nie wiem, teraz mam takie flashbacki, czy mam z tego odcinek, czy nie, kiedyś taki bardzo stary, ale nie wiem, musiałbym gdzieś kiedyś potem sobie zerknąć. Any chance you could talk it with them? Ningguang would prefer to negotiate, wouldn't she?
Well, for Ningguang,
I właśnie teraz
she
tak
would
myślałam,
talk
że
anything and everything
Dainsleaf
out if
pojawił
she
się też w
could,
Kazmie.
but I doubt we could
Wydaje
do
mi się, że
that
w Inazumie go nie było i pojawił się dopiero w Sumeru. Tak, i dropnął wielki lore
Even the Liyue
odnośnie
Qixing don't
Kei
want to face
i
that
jego
truth.
przodków w sumie.
Then what future is there for Liyue?
Another super bold statement.
Więc jestem ciekaw, czy on się może pojawi w Fontaine,
I'll stop here.
czy właśnie zostanie skipnięty i pojawi się jeszcze w kolejnym
But you're a
regionie,
good
czyli na
listener,
klanie.
traveler. You should both be off to the Jade Chamber. Don't be late now. Ningguang's schedule is packed to the gills all the way till next year. The cream of Liyue's mercantile crop all see ascending to the Jade Chamber as the greatest honor. Each brings rich gifts as they visit, all to curry a little favor with
Ooh.
Ningguang.
Favor?
Payment is not the point. Żadnego ale.
That's right. Greeting gifts are a staple of Liyue's culture. We need to get one. Not to curry favor or anything, just to respect Liyue's culture.
So eager.
All right. You can decide on your greeting gift yourselves. Let me tell you how to get to the Jade Chamber first.
Dobra.
You didn't actually have to come to Mount Tianhong.
A, świetnie.
Go back to Liyue Harbor. Find a guide at the
Właśnie
Yuehai
coś mi się tak
Pavilion.
wydawało, że chyba... Nie pamiętam, Jezu, jakby to nazwać, że nie jest chmura, to jest bardziej kamień. Da się podróżować na tym kamieniu.
May we meet again, traveler.
To było szybkie, bardzo takie cięcie, powiedzmy.
Well, that Yuheng may not respect the gods, but Paimon thinks she's a pretty cool person.
She made a good impression on me too. I agree with some of her views.
So, what should we give to Ningguang when we see her?
You really have shifted focus, haven't you, Paimon?
Right! Paimon dreamed of an amazing snack last night. Sugar frosted slime.
Slajmy nie wyglądają apetycznie, szczerze powiedziawszy.
Perfect for a super rich person like Ningguang.
Czy ja wiem?
Why don't we go with that for a gift?
So do you have a recipe? And how would we make this pink you dream up?
With a certain boom shakalaka, of course.
Czy to jest nawiązanie do
Let's
Shanling?
go gather ingredients. Time waits for no one, and neither will our riches.
W międzyczasie poeksplorowałem sobie trochę Liyue i odkryłem niektóre waypointy, żeby po prostu było mi lepiej łazić i się teleportować i w ogóle nagrywać odcinki. Aczkolwiek też nie wszystko ogarnąłem. Teraz mam nadzieję, że nie. Czemu żebym tego nie wziął? Że nie będę musiał tu robić żadnych obniżenia tej wody w sumie. Bo jeżeli to jest na przykład związanie z jakimś tam World Questem czy coś takiego, to pewnie zostawię sobie to właśnie na odcinek poświęcony World Questom, który też się zastanawiam, jak ja to podzielę. Bo jakby czysto teoretycznie to, co z Kazmem się liczy w sumie też te wszystkie questy do właśnie Liyue, ale ja myślę, że chyba te dwa tereny podzielę faktycznie na dwa. Zresztą Jarzeł o tym chyba kiedyś wspominał na tym filmie, gdzie czyściłem questy, World Questy z Mondstadt.
Ooh, look at that slime. It looks crystal clear and very delicious.
Nie potrafię sobie tego wyobrazić.
Huh? Is it just Paimon? Or is there a sweet fragrance in the air? Huh? Did you hear that?
It sounded like someone calling for help. It sounded like someone was singing.
It seemed like it came from those ruins
Oh.
over there.
To są ruiny? Szczerze, jakbym to tak nazwał, trochę dwa kloce postawione obok siebie.
Uh-oh. It looks like the treasure hoarders have locked someone inside.
Dobre chłopaki patrzą na świat za krat. Miałem to w sumie powiedzieć przy Fontaine, ale chyba powiem to teraz, bo zanim dojdziemy do Fontaine, to ja już o wszystkim zapomnę. Ale właśnie to całe więzienie Fontaine, ono bardzo mi się w ogóle kojarzy z jedną z lektur szkolnych, które po prostu słuchałem i wtedy też w to grałem, a mianowicie z Innym Światem Grudzińskiego. I nie wiem, jakoś tak połowa terenów w Genshinie kojarzy mi się w jakiś sposób z lekturami szkolnymi. Na przykład raz nie pamiętam, ale wydaje mi się, że Kazm to jest tak po części Zbrodnia i Kara i Lalka. Też na pewno Watatsumi Island to też mi się kojarzy z lalką i w sumie też głównie Inazuma, bo wtedy sobie tego słuchałem. O, mam już klucz, nawet nie pamiętam kiedy. No chodź, wyłaź, nie pękaj. A w sumie Liyue? To chyba już o tym wcześniej wspominałem, ale bardzo kojarzy mi się z lekcjami zdalnymi, jak nie wiem, miałem jakieś takie edukacje dla bezpieczeństwa, czy inne takie różne rzeczy. To wiadomo jak to było, nie? Sobie w tle puszczałem Genshina i tak sobie grałem, codzienne komisze robiłem. Jezu, na czym? O, na WOSie. Wiedzę o społeczeństwie, teraz to się chyba historia i teraźniejszość nazywa, czy jakoś tak. Ja nie wiem, bo ja zaraz kończę szkołę i mnie takie rzeczy średnio interesują.
I understand. Don't worry. I will compensate you both.
There's literally no need.
Don't say that. I only escaped this predicament because of you. I'm Meng Dan, a supplier for Mingxing jewelry in Liyue Harbor. I often walk around these mountains in search of antiques.
Jego ubranie tak właściwie jest strasznie płaskie z tego co widzę.
I never expected that those treasure hoarders would have their eyes on the same ruins that I had. Before I knew it, they'd caught and imprisoned me.
Dobra, chłopaki patrzą na świat za
Is there
krat.
anything that you lack? Antiques, treasure, various knickknacks, you name it. Well, as long as you want what I have to offer, of course.
Your goodwill is good enough for me.
Wait a moment. Actually, we are looking for something.
Oh? And what might that be?
Do you have a box that can store presents? We'd like a pretty one. The kind that you can use to store snacks.
Of course we do. How can one sell antiques without gift boxes? At Mingxing Jewelry, we have the best gift wrapping
I co, teraz
service
tam
in the
pójdziemy?
7 nations. Now just give me a moment and I'll let the boss know. You can go see her whenever you require that box.
No dobrze.
Paimon sugar frosted slime now comes in a beautiful package.
Okej. Ja nie wiem, czy Ningguang to się by mogło spodobać, szczerze powiedziawszy. Ostatnio tak myślałem, że skoro chyba w każdej nacji dostajemy jakiś tam tytuł, na przykład w Mondstadt jest Honorary Knight, w Liyue coś tam jeszcze, pewnie w Inazumie, w Sumeru jakiś tam chyba jeszcze tytuł był, to jestem ciekaw, czy, to znaczy tak właściwie, może nie ciekaw, ale mam takie, nie wiem, czy to mogę nazwać obawą i tak dalej, ale mam takie zastanowienie, a co jeżeli pójdziemy do Śnieżnai i w Śnieżnai nagle stwierdzimy, że I can fix them i zaczniemy w ogóle stwierdzać, że Harbingerzy to tak naprawdę są skrzywdzeni przez społeczeństwo, czy jakieś inne tam głupoty. I na końcu w sumie zostaniemy tym 10. Harbingerem. Czy którymś, nie pamiętam, które miejsce jest puste. Wiem, że na pewno 6. Bo cały ten wątek w ogóle z usuwaniem siebie ze świata i tego wszystkiego. Matko, to jest tak zagmatwane w fabule.
It's already been cleaned. Will it do?
Yep. It's great. Hang on a moment. Could we borrow one other thing?
Sure. Please help yourselves. As long as it's on our shelves.
Traveler, this clay pot looks really awesome.
Naprawdę?
If we use an antique as our mixing bowl, we should be
Słucham?
able to make a great snack.
Dlaczego?
Done! The one and only sugar frosted slime. Carefully now. Into the box it goes and dust it over with a bit more powdered sugar.
Oh, yes. You might want to use these 2 freshly picked flowers as decorations, too.
A, no wygląda nawet ładnie, szczerze powiedziawszy. I'm still not sold on this gift idea. Boże, same.
Now that we've put all that we've got into this box, let's go to the Jade Chamber to see Ningguang.
Co, będziemy tak jak Kordian? I polecimy na chmurze? Czemu dopiero mi się teraz jakieś tam cage'ki odpalił? Więc no, w skrócie to moja chyba najgłówniejsza taka obawa wobec Śnieżnai to, że nagle stwierdzimy, że zaczniemy albo naprawiać Harbingerów, albo na przykład oni zrobią jakąś drogę, nie wiem, Redemption Arc, czy coś takiego, nie? Coś na zasadzie, co się stało ze Skaramuszem. Nie wiem, jakby aktualizacja ze Skaramuszem była spoko i tak dalej, wszystkie te właśnie fragmenty od Otory. Czy to nie wyglądało inaczej kiedyś wcześniej? Może mi się tylko wydawało, ale całe to w ogóle usuwanie siebie z pamięci innych, z Imirsulu i tak dalej, to nie wiem, czy to był Redemption Arc, nie mam pojęcia, czy ja to mogę tak nazwać, ale mi się to cholery nie podobało.
How many would you like?
It's not convenient to speak of numbers here.
Ah, well said. Please, use this to ascend to the chamber. Yes, speaking of which, are you two the guests that Lady Ningguang has arranged to meet with today?
Jak najbardziej.
Yep.
And yet the code they used was not the one for guests, but for the Yuhang. What's going on here?
Kim jest Yuhang? Czy ja znowu przysnąłem na czymś? Ja nie znam się na tych wszystkich pomniejszych słowach. Miałam o czymś jeszcze powiedzieć, ale teraz nie pamiętam o czym. Cholera, jak zawsze o wszystkim zapominam. Kurczę, co to jest? Ningguang ma tatuaż? Nawet tego nie pamiętam.
Since this is our first meeting, we've prepared a gift. I hope you like it.
Oh, for me. You have my thanks. It seems that I have made things difficult for you, considering that you were supposed to be my guests.
Oh no, it's nothing.
Nice place, this Jade Chamber. It's my first time coming to a place this high up.
This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue.
To idzie dostać lęku
I have
wysokości.
been gathering the funds necessary to build it from the time I began learning the merchant's craft. And since becoming the Tianquan, I have spared no effort in hiring the best craftsmen to constantly extend it. At first, it was but the size of one room. Now, it is large enough to blot out the moon in the skies above Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations.
This Tianquan does not lack for
Not
ambition.
many from outside Liyue earn the right to ascend to the Jade Chamber. But I have been in correspondence with the acting Grand Master of the Knights of
O!
Helonius, who spoke highly of you.
Co jeżeli tak naprawdę wszystkie te ważniejsze postacie z tych 7 nacji, nie wiem, powiedzmy właśnie Jin, Ningguang, Yaemiko, nie wiem, kto jest ważny w Sumeru. Tak, powiedzmy taka prawa ręka Arkona. Nie wiem, czy Alheitam, ale on mi tylko przychodzi na myśl. Nie wiem. Nie wiem, czy może on, a w Fontaine? Też nie wiem kto, ale ja bym się chyba bardziej skłaniał w sumie w stronę Nowieleta, ale to nie wiem. Ale w sumie ciekawe to wyglądało, jakby na przykład oni by mieli jakiś tam kontakt między sobą.
As such, I have been putting eyes and ears out ever since you reached Liyue.
What?
And I finally got wind of your movements when you were on the way to Wangshu Inn.
Wait, was Vergoldet one of your people?
Vergoldet. O Boże, nie pamiętam kto to był.
Just Vergoldet? No. Everyone at Wangshu Inn is one of ours.
To trochę brzmi jak jakaś sekta. We also ran into the Yuhang not long ago.
At the Guizhang Ballista, yes?
Catch, okej, już czaję, kto jest kim.
The skies the whole time, were you?
To trzeba mieć mocny wzrok.
I fear that peeking would have been a little difficult from this altitude. Our eyes and ears are more than sufficient. You two are very interesting people, after all. It would be natural to take an interest.
Keqing said that the Qixing would not wish ill on Rex
Well, I
Lapis.
wouldn't expect you to trust us, considering that you have had far more interactions with the Adepti. The reason I invited you here was to clear up some misunderstandings.
No dobrze.
I believe that you've heard of the Archon War.
Ring a
Many
bell.
gods used to walk this earth, and many long wars were fought between them that did not abate until 2,000 years ago. Much blood was shed, and many lives were lost. In the end, only 7 victors remained standing in Teyvat.
Czyli bogów było
They built cities and
więcej.
nations on the corpses of the vanquished, and thus began the era of the 7.
Muszę chyba poczytać na wiki i poszukać, czy jest może coś więcej o tych takich starszych bogach?
You can see Goyun Stone Forest from here, I trust. It is no natural rock formation. Those are giant spears of rock hurled by Rex Lapis.
Czy
during the
Rex
war.
Lapis przypadkiem nie pierdolił gdzieś w kazm i dlatego tam nie powstała ta wielka dziura w ziemi?
Beneath the spears lie those cast down by Rex Lapis in those days, gods that failed to seize the title of Archon.
Kurde,
Not
teraz
only
mnie
is it true that
zainteresowała.
gods may die, but so too has the membership of the 7 changed over the last 2 millennia. Rex Lapis's passing is an unimaginable disaster for Liyue. But the Order of the 7 will not collapse simply because of that. Another Lord of Geo will arise sooner or later. Yet, how are we to forget Rex Lapis? When that time comes, the relationship between the people of Liyue and the gods and Adepti will surely be different from before.
Ciekawe w sumie.
Even in a new era, the Liyue Qixing remain Rex Lapis's former subjects. Do you really think us capable of having played a part in his demise? Of lacking the foresight to see the certain repercussions?
Why had the Exuva? Nie wiem, Den.
That day at Yujing Terrace, it was also very sudden. Even I was caught completely off guard. You were there, you no doubt saw.
Na własne
But
oczy.
our enemy has long lain hidden within the harbor. If we do not act against them now,
Czuję, że oni mogą
surely
mówić o
gain the
Fatui.
upper hand. Hiding the Exuvia was a necessary maneuver to take the initiative back, to play the spider while our foes scurry about.
Who's this enemy you're talking about?
What do you think, traveler?
Fatui. It's him, isn't it?
Huh? What are you
child, prawda?
Well answered.
Ha! Ale ja nie wiedziałam, że ona ma w ogóle, nie wiem, tatuaż na nodze.
The scenery out here is fine indeed, but the wind is a little strong. Our preparations to receive guests within are complete. So please, this way.
Wowee! What a huge hall! Paimon's never seen such a fancy place before.
No ładnie to jest całkiem. Trochę klaustrofobicznie. Jak dla mnie. Ale no, nawet. Ojej, biuro jest. Biuro czy, nie wiem, pokój.
Be it
Ślicznie
easy to
wygląda.
Make yourselves at home if you wish.
Can we really?
I have invited you two here as friends. And when friends come over to play, our enjoyment comes first.
Is that why... O Jezu, is that what I think it is?
Ooh, isn't this that legendary wall?
Które legendary wall? Co to
Why,
jest?
You've kept your ear to the ground, I see.
To znaczy, ja nie rozumiem czegoś.
Storytellers are talking about it. Everyone's after a piece of paper from that wall. It's super famous.
Ale co?
That's because that wall records Leo's secrets. Merchants have always been attracted to secrets. But the secrets of the mercantile world are of no interest to you.
Jezu, ślicznie to jest, jak
are
to
they,
słońce
traveler?
tak jeszcze wpada przez to
You're
okno.
rather special, really, and I think you're quite aware of that. If possible, I'd like to have your trust. But if you were to choose the more trustworthy person between myself and Kuching,
Well, between your orthodoxy and her heterodoxy, I'd go with Catching and her skepticism of the divine. Nie wiem, cokolwiek.
you'd pick Kuching? Nah,
Ale chyba i tak
had
nie
a
mogę
feeling.
ciebie wybrać,
I
więc...
originally thought her a bit too hard-headed. With someone of her character on the Chising, I've had some extra messes to clean up behind the scenes. But after she said those words, the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Chising don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
Coś w tym jest.
I must say that quite a few of my doubts have been dispelled. I won't deny that Rex Lapis's passing seems advantageous to us. But for Liyue's sake, we cannot allow ourselves to be shackled by rumors of our usurpation of power.
I surmise that if Tuye has a hand in these rumors.
Indeed. It seems
Wiedziałem.
that you understood what I meant to say from the very beginning. I called for the gag order and for the exuvia to be hidden to temporarily stabilize the situation, and also to prevent something similar to the
Czy to
incident
chodzi
in
o
Mondstadt.
Signorę?
With Rex Lapis's death, the Fatui have busied themselves with many clandestine actions beyond their diplomatic remit. As the Tianquan, one responsible for Liyue, I cannot be too concerned with appearances when opposing them.
No.
Allowing the rite of parting to take place was also meant to buy some time for us to take control of Liyue's administration.
It's exactly as Zhongli said. The Chising only provided the venue for the rite so they could use us for their own ends. Wait, that's right. Speaking of ends, could I say one other thing?
Ja się boję, o co ty chcesz spytać.
Of course.
Jezu, znowu się spać chcę.
Paimon's heard that anyone who sends a greeting gift gets a little something
Paimon.
in return. So, does that include us?
To jest chyba najbardziej nietaktyczne... nietaktyczne zdanie, Boże. Seriously, Paimon? Seriously?
It's all right. I like direct people.
Nie wiem, ja bym pomyślał, że ta osoba po prostu próbuje mi się jak najbardziej przypodobać, aby po prostu później wykorzystać coś na swoją
We
korzyść.
have made quite a bit of trouble for you recently. How about this? You can pick any one object here as you
Naprawdę?
please, and you may take it with you.
Darmo to uczciwa
I
cena.
was just waiting for you to say that. Let's see, what should we get? One of the sheets on that wall.
Same.
Look at Paimon like that. One of these sheets of paper will sell for crazy prices, even if it's only as large as Paimon's fingernail.
Zawsze miał łeb do interesów.
Just imagine how much more a whole untorn sheet would sell for. Let's grab one, the biggest one.
No dobrze.
Huh? Well, that was an easy search. The biggest sheet is right up there in the most obvious spot. Let's go with that one.
No okej.
La, la, la. Let's see what's written on it.
Ja nie widzę, o czym jest ta mapa w ogóle.
There's a place marked with a circle on here. Oh, could it be treasure?
Nie rozpoznaję tego
Whatever it is,
miejsca
it better make
kompletnie.
us filthy rich. Sigil of permission, something, Fatui, research, copy. Huh? Aw, that doesn't sound like treasure at all. This piece of paper shows that a cheating spy
A co to jest znowu?
of classified Fatui research on the sigil of permission. Oh, Ningguang did say that the Fatui have been up to all kinds of mischief in the shadows of Liyue, spreading rumors, wanting to get their hands on the Archon's body and
Matko,
whatnot. But research on the sigil of permission? Paimon wonders
co
what
jest na
that
tej
means.
wazie? Nie mogę... To coś wygląda jak skóra zwisająca z drzewa.
Speaking of
Ale
which,
nie wiem,
there's
to na
also
pewno nie
something
jest
ahead
to.
between you and the sigil of permission. Seems there's still more for us to find out.
Ningguang is clearly trying to steer us there.
You really think so?
To jest tego, przeczucie, o, czy tam wyczucie? No, what I mean is...
Oh, so you're saying that it's precisely because we can't completely trust Ningguang that we should confirm the truth of what she says for ourselves. That's way out of Paimon's league. Paimon thinks she's been nothing but good to us.
Trzeba na pewno?
Anyway, we'll see if you're onto something.
Przekonamy się.
Before we look for Zhongli at Dihua Marsh, let's go to the place marked out on these papers and see if the Fatui really are up to no good there.
O Jezu, piękna, spokojna muzyka z Liyue. Tego potrzebuję autentycznie. O Jezu, znowu te cholery.
The location written down on this piece of paper. And they look really mad at us too.
Ja tu mordę jego koleżków, chłop się nawet nie odwrócił, nie?
There are so many talismans here. And some stacks of blank paper too.
It looks like they're copying the pattern on the talisman. Maybe they're trying to reproduce a
I
talisman.
haven't seen this pattern before. But where?
Czy oni kombinują jakieś kopiowanie, tak jak to było w Inazumie, tym samym Delusion i Tepe i te inne różne rzeczy?
The sigil of permission the child gave you. But how did a relic of the Adepti end up in the hands of someone like Child?
It's not just a relic.
Oh, that's right. Cloud Retainer said that when the Lord of Geo created the sigil of permission, it wasn't to be used as some old relic. Talismans like that were once used in the Archon War to channel divine powers.
Damn.
The Fatui are copying the sigil of permission in hopes of achieving a similar effect.
No przekonamy się.
Able to channel divine power in battle? Whew, that sounds pretty dangerous.
Seems the Fatui are definitely up to something. Maybe this paper is only snippet of something bigger plan.
And the plot thickens.
No oni chyba zawsze coś kombinują, nie?
Eye on Child, that's for sure. Alright, that's enough sticking around here. We gotta go meet up with Zhongli soon. The last stop on our rite of parting preparations tour is Dihua Marsh. Let's go! Paimon hates being late.
Right on time. I myself only arrived moments ago.
No patrz.
Did you enjoy your visit to the Jade Chamber?
No raczej nie inaczej.
So big and pretty and expensive. Paimon's never seen such a fancy schmancy place
Fancy
before.
szmęsi, co jest?
Indeed. It's second to none in all of Liyue. Then you met with Ningguang, I trust? What did you talk about with her?
A, różne takie tam.
She's super rich and so generous. Paimon thinks she's very friendly.
Business people are always friendly when it suits their interests.
Yeah, his take on Ningguang is quite different from Paimon's. He thinks that even the tactless Yuhang is more trustworthy than her.
Jezu, czasami jestem tak przyzwyczajony do w ogóle Paimon i w ogóle do female MC. Także jak Paimon mówi właśnie do Ithera, to mi się cały czas wydaje, że ona tak naprawdę mówi do Zhongliego.
So you also met with Keqing then? What did she have to say?
She said the time of the Adepti has long passed. If even the Liyue Qixing don't want to face that truth, then what future is there for Liyue?
No respect for the divine. Indeed, contrary to the ever-bold Keqing, Ningguang is more of a businesswoman at heart. though they are both members of the Qixing. Although she's friendly, there's no way of clearly discerning her true intentions.
No ja myślę, że ona jest bardzo ambitna, skoro w sumie dostała
Yes, she
wizję
has only
Rio.
relied on herself to rise to her current position. No ordinary person could ever achieve that. It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
The Jade Chamber is only second. What's the most important thing to her then?
Why, Mora, of course.
Makes sense.
All Ningguang talked about was the Fatui this and the Fatui that. She said that after Rex Lapis was murdered, the Fatui have constantly been trying to sink their fingers into Liyue, and that they aren't to be trusted.
No nic
That
nowego.
is how the Fatui have always been. It doesn't surprise me in the least.
And now they are trying to reproduce the sigil of permission.
No matter what they may be planning, you must be careful when dealing with the Fatui. Always be on your guard.
So, is there anything we need to get for the rite of parting in Diwa Marsh?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Today, we'll be gathering wild
Oh.
glaze lilies.
Glaze lilies? But why did we come all the way out here? Doesn't the garden in Yujing Terrace have some? Even Qingsa Village has glaze lilies. Oh,
No to pewnie muszą być jakieś specjalne, nie?
remembers that Madame Ping is always tending to flowers. Maybe we could ask her.
No, those lilies have all been gardened by people. They won't do it all. Dihua Marsh used to be full of glaze lilies.
Ah,
It is a sort of joyful flower that listens to human song. Before the Archon War, Dihua Marsh was all dry land and fertile soil. But the war caused landslides, and the land was flooded, turning it into the marsh you see now. Nearly all the glaze lilies were wiped out.
jak ja uwielbiam słuchać o różnych takich, nie wiem, historycznych rzeczach, w różnych grach, takich w sensie, no wiadomo, historycznych w sensie opowiadających o historii, powiedzmy, jakiegoś tam danego miejsca w grze, a nie jakiejś tam historii faktycznej. Faktycznej, Boże, no realnej, no wiadomo o co mi chodzi chyba.
If we want to follow the true tradition of the rite of parting, we must grind up the wild lilies and place the powder
Matko, jego
in a
włosy się
censer
układają
of
na wszystkie strony świata.
But I'll need your assistance in gathering these flowers.
So you need me to sing?
That's correct.
No.
Your singing will surely bring out the strongest fragrance from the flowers.
So how good is your singing?
I'm a pro, just step back and listen.
Why doesn't Paimon believe?
Wypraszam sobie.
You'll only know once he starts singing.
Myślę, że ten quest może być trochę długi w sumie, nie wiem, on trwa, nie wiem, z 2 godziny czy ile, ale w sumie, jeżeli faktycznie to trwa, nie wiem, powiedzmy z ponad 2 godziny, to chyba po prostu podzielę te filmy na 2, bo nie chcę, żeby to przekraczało, powiedzmy, godzinę 45 minut. Clear's throat. O kurde. Nice, kurde, jak ja bym chciał, żeby Traveler może się trochę bardziej ojojoj, odzywał.
These flowers are jumping. They look really angry. Is it because you sang a song for Mondstadt that they don't understand here in Liyue? Those weren't glaze lilies. Glaze lilies wouldn't hit people.
Those flowers put up quite a
This
fight.
little monster is known as a whopper flower.
A, to chyba już wiemy w sumie.
Strange. These petals look interesting. The glaze lilies used as a disguise were buried with the whopper flower for too long. The result seems to have surprisingly potent medicinal value. Let's collect what we can of these petals.
Well, that's nice and all, but will those petals be useful for the rite of parting?
Unfortunately, no.
Kurde.
That's so lame.
Excuse me.
O, Ganiu.
Are you searching for glaze lilies?
Oh, hey, it's... What's her face? Paimon
Yangu.
can't remember.
Greetings, Ganiu.
Hello, traveler. I'm surprised you still remember my name.
Ciekawe jakby zareagowała, gdybyśmy kompletnie przekręcili jej imię.
That reminds me. How was your visit to the Jade Chamber?
Wspaniałe.
It would have been better if you told us how to get up there.
Didn't I tell you the way? Surely I did.
Nope, we found the way on our own.
It isn't a secret, so perhaps you just assume we knew. Guess it was our fault for not asking.
I see. Uh-oh. I guess I really did forget to tell them.
Huh. Something seems a little off about Ganyu. She's acting different from the first time we met. Where's her serious attitude now?
Ah, well, I met you at that time as an emissary of the Tianquan. But now, I am simply out on a stroll to see the flowers.
No
You came
widzisz.
all the way out here to see the flowers? Why not just enjoy the gardens of the city?
Yujing Terrace is where Rex Lapis parted from this world. If I strolled through those lonely gardens now, I wouldn't be able to bear it.
To jest jak najbardziej zrozumiałe.
Whenever my duties take me near Yujing Terrace these days, I draw the windows to block my view of the gardens.
Oh, sorry. We shouldn't have brought it up.
No, it's quite all right. I just haven't processed my emotions yet.
Nie, na spokojnie.
When the Archon War came to its end 2,000 years ago, the first iteration of the Seven would gather in Liyue and drink with Rex Lapis. But 5 of those original 7 had already passed before Rex Lapis.
A,
It's truly a changing of the guard.
so that means...
Now that the spirit of Rex Lapis has returned to the heavens, only Barbados of Mondstadt remains of the first 7. The 5, including Inazuma's Raiden Shogun, are no longer the same friends from 2,000 years ago. Of the current 7 Archons, the youngest is Sumeru's god of Dendro.
O,
She is merely 500 years old, whereas Rex Lapis was more than 6,000 years old at the time of his passing.
kurde.
This means that Liyue had been under Rex Lapis's rule from the moment it was first founded 3,700 years ago.
So what do you
Oj,
think of
oj,
this?
misklik.
Farewell.
No to jest Fossalor. Teraz tak patrzę, że dobrze powiedziałem.
Huh? This is a little
Fossalor miał w ogóle bardzo ładny outfit, ale to nie czas na Fontaine, tak? My siedzimy dopiero w Liyue.
As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality.
Huh? Did you just say, as an Adeptus?
Yes, I am a mix of human and Chilean.
Ha,
Adeptus blood flows through my veins. I fought for Rex Lapis and the city of Liyue during the Archon War.
matko, jaka ty stara musisz być.
After the war ended, I signed a contract with Rex Lapis and took the position as secretary for the Qixing. I've continued those duties to this very day.
So you're half Chilean? That explains the horns.
Well, let's save that conversation for another day. You say that you are here looking for glaze lilies? I also know where wild glaze lilies can be found. See, I've just picked one myself. Here, you may have it if you wish.
Ej, dawno nie widziałem Ganyu w sumie na banerze.
Oh, so did you sing a song before you picked the lily?
Indeed, I did. I know this tradition well. In fact, I sang a local Liyue ballad to it.
Wow, so you really know your stuff, too. Thanks, Ganyu.
No, it is you who I should be thanking. If not for this chance meeting, I never thought that I would be able to contribute to the upcoming farewell for our ancient lord. If you would excuse me, I should return to my work now.
Dobra,
Good
adios.
luck.
Matko, kiedy był ostatni
And
Ganyu
that
banner?
just about does it.
Nawet nie pamiętam
Our
w sumie.
preparations for the rite of parting are mostly finished. Given the ease of picking glaze lilies, I think this was a fitting end to our tasks, in more ways than one.
Zhongli, you seem suited to working in a, o Boże, agricultural development.
Yeah, Paimon can already imagine him starting a business in Liyue.
A może już zaczął, kto wie.
I've had enough ventures in my life already. Beginning a new undertaking is always difficult at first, and requires no small amount of effort. And once business is at full steam, the stress of it all only wears away at you over time. So you must be careful to take the time to step back and re-examine yourself. If left unchecked, the wear and tear on your heart may go well past mending.
Wow. See? Zhongli sounds like he's already seen it all.
No cóż.
Alright, I think it's about time we head back to Liyue Harbor now.
Więc dobra, ja myślę, że to możemy zrobić tak, że Jezu, skończę tego Archon Questa, potem chyba pojawia się ten film z Xingqiu i potem dopiero pewnie dropnę te... Co tu stoi? Fatui? O.
What happened? The city gate is swarming with Lilith and the Fatui?
A później pewnie dropnę tego z dwa z Densleafem.
Seems as though something big has happened.
No. Dobra.
We should ask around a little. Just to be
Felix. Ja go skądś kojarzę w sumie.
Ah, you're the consultant to Wangsheng Funeral Parlor. Mr. Zhongli, I presume. The Millilith are watching our every move now. These are desperate times. We mustn't act rashly.
desperate times?
The Adepti of Joyun Karst are finally on the move.
Oh?
Do they intend to exercise force?
Most likely. I've heard that some members of the Qixing have already gone to meet them. Well, I say meet, but it's more like they're attempting to stall the Adepti outside the city.
Kurczę.
However, both sides were quite obstinate and hit an impasse.
It seems inevitable, given the current situation.
The Adepti do not acknowledge the Qixing. They only acknowledge the contracts of the Geo-Archon. If the two sides come to blows, Liyue Harbor will be in no position to stop them.
No, trochę lekka kraksa w sumie.
Qixing are not the sort to give in so easily.
Their boneheadedness is known throughout the lands. Yet it's because of that obstinacy that mortals and Adepti are now on the verge of conflict.
And what now? How is it that the Fatui have come under fire?
That's all Ningguang's doing.
Hmm.
She proclaimed that in these tumultuous times, the Millilith must rein in the actions of the Fatui. Only now do they want to start keeping tabs on us? That's the Qixing for you. Anyway, Mr. Zhongli, you're one of Child's close associates. Please understand that your actions will reflect on us. Don't let anyone catch you off guard.
No dobrze.
Things are about to boil over in Liyue Harbor.
Is there anything we can do? We can just stand by and
You
watch.
intend to use your neutral identity as an
Czy my jesteśmy
intermediary
neutralni?
between both sides?
Nie wydaje mi się, szczerze
Or will you
powiedziawszy.
use your sword to turn the balance?
Przecież my zawsze w każdej nacji
Oh, by the way, Mr. Zhongli,
wybieramy czyjąś
we've heard that
stronę.
the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor has also been caught up in all of
Jestem
this.
ciekaw, czyją
They're
stronę
currently
weźmiemy
squaring off with
Snezhnai.
authorities at the gates.
Things are taking a turn for the worse. I'm afraid I must leave now to handle things.
Ja jestem
back in
ciekaw, czy
Wangsheng
jak będzie
Funeral
ten
Parlor.
Libian, czy jakkolwiek
I hope that
on się
Master
nazywa,
Wu has been able
co
to
często
keep
po prostu
things
przyjeżdża do
under control
Mondstadt
for
i
the
na przykład
moment.
zdradza jakieś różne sneak
Consider your
peeki
next course of action
odnośnie
carefully, traveler.
kolejnych nacji, czy takich
If
właśnie
you're
rzeczy
trying to
innych.
prevent an explosion,
To jestem ciekaw, co powie na
it
przykład
may
na
be
temat
wisest
Snezhnai.
to look for the fuse first.
Matko, czy on się tepnął przed chwilą?
Fatui seems to be quite the double-edged sword. So what does Zhongli mean by looking for the fuse?
That ginger guy. You know, Mr. More money than sense. Dobra, po prostu child.
Someone gets it. If there's anyone that wants to see the whole city turned upside down, it's definitely him.
No raczej nie inaczej. No a z wywiadu, gratuluję dedukcji.
He must be waiting for the moment when no one is watching to do something really bad. But where could we find him now? Where would he go at a time like this?
Follow me. No. Czy to teraz walka z Childem będzie?
Wow. This is the Golden House?
No nazwa zobowiązuje, nie?
Looked impressive enough from the outside, but who would have guessed
Matko,
that it
ale
was
tu się
even
świeci,
richer
ile
on the
pieniędzy.
inside? And so full of Mora. This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing.
Ktoś tam leży w tle. Touch single more and we're done for.
So it's a trap. Tricky,
Strasznie
tricky.
płaskie są te monety, jak teraz patrzę.
Someone's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right? Or better yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true.
We better check on the archive first. Something feels amiss here.
Oh, right. Back to business. It's quiet. Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia. Huh? Look! What happened here?
The Millilith. They've been knocked unconscious.
Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble.
A ja wiem od kogo.
I'd like to go make sure that
Jaki
the Exuvia is
smok.
all right.
Matko.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Huh?
No jak możesz go nie rozpoznawać?
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
How did you find out it was here? Looks like I was just in time then.
Although I'm deeply grateful to you that I was able to effortlessly find this secret location, don't you think that trying to stop me now would just be wasted effort?
O, przypomniało mi się, o czym jeszcze chcę powiedzieć. Wydaje mi się, że to nie będzie spoiler, ale o tym chyba powiem w trakcie walki z Childem w sumie. Nie no, bo w sumie aktualizacja... O Jezu, nie pamiętam kiedy to było. 4.2? Tam, gdzie była Skirk i Fossalor i ten dziwny wieloryb. Wieloryb, narwal, jakkolwiek to się nazywa. Not if I have anything to say about it. Bo generalnie design Skirk bardzo mi się nie podoba. Szczerze, ona wygląda bardzo typowo jak taka, nie wiem, damska postać w anime i tak dalej. Chyba wiadomo, o co mi chodzi, nie? Ja się spodziewałam, zwłaszcza jej kolory, ona jest taka jasna i w ogóle się spodziewałem, że skoro jest ona związana właśnie z tym abysem i tak dalej, to ona będzie miała jakieś takie ciemniejsze kolory, może jakieś takie fragmenty, jak na przykład, Jezu, był taki fragment na pustyni, gdzie tam było dużo takich fioletowych odłamków i później jak się zrobiło jakiegoś tam Wattpad, to nagle to się wszystko zrobiło zielone i tam rozkwitała roślinność i tak dalej. Ja się nie pamiętam, jak to się nazywało. Ale właśnie wydaje mi się, że ona lepiej nawet wyglądała w jakiejś zbroi, aniżeli, kurde, nie wiem, co to były podkolanówki, zakolanówki, czy coś takiego, ale to wygląda kompletnie jak takie leginsy Galaxy, więc... które kiedyś były strasznie popularne.
The greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing blades with strong opponents.
We won't let what happened in Mondstadt ever happen again.
Oj tam, no seniora kopnęła po prostu jakiegoś twinka i wszyscy nagle mają oto ból dupy.
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, traveler. I'll just play along to feel the thrill of battle.
Nie będziemy się bawić żadne w sądy, będziemy się napierdalać.
Besides, you could never defeat me. Not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway. Because if you ask me, without that, what else is there?
I could never defeat you or you're completely delusional. Ktoś tu jest delulu.
Fighting talk, I love it. Now let's see you live up to it. This chance is hard to come by, so show me all you've got.
Ha.
So very few ever get the chance to square off with a Fatui.
Oj, ale już tak od razu?
Amuse me, and don't you dare disappoint. Obviously. Haha, good. No wonder Senora was so wary of you. Well, that just means I can go all out. Brace yourself. This is about to get tough.
Dobra,
Now,
chodź
show me
tu.
what you can do against the might of a harbinger. Tide.
Dobrze, Jula, już wystarczy. A, uwielbiam tę cutscenkę za pierwszym razem, jak była.
Bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get.
Kurde, nice.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
Ale jego delusion się świeci fajnie, kurde.
Oh, quiet down. Stop acting like some wide-eyed recruit. You've seen this world. You of all people should know. This should have been expected. Well then, I'll be taking Morax's gnosis now.
Holy shit.
I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
A ta muzyka, Jezu, kocham. Oho. To już nie jest mnie w sumie interesujące, jak to widziałem po 2, 1, 3, 7 razy, ale sama transformacja wygląda ciekawie. I mój ulubiony ekran się zaczyna. Absolutnie kocham to wszystko, naprawdę nie mogę się doczekać, aż dojdzie do Dottore. Maybe? Boże, czemu ja mówię po angielsku? A tak naprawdę się okaże, że żongli miał ten gnosis przez cały czas. I to jest strasznie proste, kurde.
Look! Child's back to normal again!
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy
W sumie szkoda, że ten...
my body.
Jak się Skaramusz po raz pierwszy pojawił, to było to jako kuźwa cholerny event, FOMO i tak dalej, bo z chęcią chciałbym zobaczyć tą właśnie planszę, co była z Harbingerami.
That's what we've been trying to tell you!
Uważam, że jednym z wielkich minusów Genshina jest to, że jakieś takie najważniejsze rzeczy fabularne są przedstawione w postaci kuźwa eventów, które potem nigdy nie wracają. Because I'm collecting the powers of the 7 elements, because I'm greatly restoring my former power. Oh.
You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle.
I co, tego momentu, teamujemy się z Fatui?
Sure, that's not the normal way to make friends.
Unfortunately, I must bring this amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In fact, it might be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
So you mean that...
Rex Lapis still lives.
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
Backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom
Jestem w ogóle ciekaw, czy kiedykolwiek nadrobię z tą serią aktualne, to czy może nie aktualne, po prostu któregoś dnia, czy nadrobię aktualizacje z Genshina, które będą wychodzić, chociaż
So what are you planning to do?
może być to ciężkie, bo nie wydaje mi się, że nie wiem, tak obstawiam, że może Natlan pojawi się gdzieś tak pod koniec sierpnia 2024.
Overlord
Oh.
Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon stone spears.
Nie wiem, bo jak ja zamierzam niektóre Archon Questy podzielić, czy w ogóle inne questy podzielić na przykład na powiedzmy tam 1,5 godziny nagrywki, a odcinki wrzucę co 2 tygodnie, czy tak nie wiem, 2-3 odcinki w miesiącu, to nie wiem, kiedy bym nadrobił, może dopiero wstężna.
Brought up here in a world now overseen by the Seven.
Simple. I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui have been researching them.
I saw your research with my own eyes. You've been trying to duplicate them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research.
O, damn, ale zostaliśmy bamboozled.
With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well. That makes matters a little more intriguing.
Czy teraz będzie bitka z osialem? Ładna jest ta animacja, Dejan. Ja uważam, że najbardziej przerażające rzeczy właśnie kryją się w odmętach wód.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Liyue, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Skuwany, jak się przemieszcza.
He's already gone. That guy is fast. What's going on?
No zabitka teraz, kurde, nice. Nareszcie coś się dzieje. W porównaniu z poprzednią stypą.
Paimon's exhausted.
Gdzie to ma oczy?
We hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House.
4 aż ich
We
jest.
wouldn't have known which way to go. Do we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Liyue yet, has it?
Nie wiem, nie widzisz na własne oczy?
What are you doing here?
Siao.
Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Qixing. Is the fighting over?
Faced with a calamity of such magnitude, we have agreed to put our differences aside for now and unite against this common enemy.
Oh, Paimon gets it. So how do you plan to defend Liyue?
Ale ma mordę, Jezu.
Just seeing this Overlord of
Ile
the
tego
Vortex
jest?
guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy. Even
Jezu,
from
widzę
way
5
up
głów.
here.
Ale może ich być więcej w sumie. Trochę jak taka hydra.
Just you. We've got new Millelith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle.
No ja się nie dziwię.
Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon war was
Już i tak w sumie jest na granicy.
years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary. So will the power of the Qixing, Millelith, and Adepti gathered here be enough to stop that god?
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? But all of you are supposed to be the guardians of Liyue. Can't you think of something?
Jezu, tak się skupiam na tej muzyce, że aż nie wiem co powiedzieć.
The Qixing did once research the matter of the Guizhong ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong ballista with one's own hands is here.
Czy to jest Madame Pink?
What could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms?
Albo Claudie Tainer.
It would take one
Kurczę, ja się gubię już generalnie, kto jest kim.
ballista.
Bo ja mam obraz przed oczami, jak oni wyglądają w swojej faktycznie, nie wiem, Jezu, ludzkiej bogowej formie, jakkolwiek to powiedzieć. I teraz się gubię, kto jest kim. Muszę chyba sobie obejrzeć mój poprzedni mój odcinek sprzed roku odnośnie właśnie Lanternite'u.
We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now. Yep.
Czy Ketching używa Lion's Roaru? Lubię generalnie patrzeć, jak, nie wiem, czy kanonicznie, czy tak to mogę ująć, jakich broni używają postaci. Czy Genshin miała kiedykolwiek dla siebie zdesignowaną broń? Nawet nie wiem.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let's go help too.
We Adepti have not faced a god in several millennia.
Ej, to idziesz szybko, ja myślałem, że to będę miał jakiś problem. Ej.
What strength remains within you?
Nie uciekaj,
One
no.
wishes to witness.
That is
Ile ich tu
Osiris'
jest?
divine power. I am very familiar with it. Be
Matko.
careful not to get hit.
O Jezus. No tak, oczywiście. Aha, tak, wspaniale. No, be careful not to get hit. I co ja robię? Oczywiście, że wbiegam to samo. Ale podobną sytuację, że wbiegałem we wszystko, co się po prostu uda, miałem w Wiedźminie. Jak tam dosłownie była już taka, no powiedzmy, że prawie końcówka gry, gdzie no wiadomo, się szykowało do tej bitwy w Kermorę, nie? I tam właśnie było powiedziane, o Jezu, tam Roż bodajże w ogóle powiedział, że oni tam zostawili jakieś, nie pamiętam, się wilcze doły nazywało, czy jakkolwiek, nie? I tam w skrócie, no tylko weź w to nie wpadnij. I co ja żem zrobił jako pierwsze? Oczywiście, że wpadł w tą dziurę, nie?
Don't lose heart. Here, take this.
This is Adeptal energy. That light from your body. It's like the time in Julian Cars. Wow, it's a Madame shockwave. This grid is really strong.
Dobrze, nice. No o matko. Zostawcie to.
With the blood of the Chilean, I guard you against evil. Cast your fear of injury by the wayside and fight with all your might. I too did this during the Archon War.
Ha.
So this is what Ganya's like in a fight.
Aj, no. Przestań mnie klepać.
Swiftness. Take my power and run as I do.
We're going too fast.
Child, you are strong in body and spirit. Perhaps you can withstand 3 forms of adeptal energy at once.
This will hurt a little. Please bear with us.
Once you've adapted, try to use them in battle.
Exercise caution. I fear that the god's power has reached its peak.
In other words, if we hold here, there's nothing worse to come, right?
Chwila, bo to się na Fatui bardziej skupiam.
Fight on, comrades! Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
No, nareszcie. Oh, that was fast.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
It's working. We just need to keep this up.
Damn.
The Guizhong Ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber.
What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
No ładnie. Jezu, aż mam dreszcze na plecach, nie mogę. Cholera, i to jest to, i to są te Arconquesty, gdzie coś się dzieje. Kuźwa, nie mogę. Jakby Arconquesty z Fontaine też są wprawdzie piękne i w ogóle, ale ten jak trzeba było siedzieć w więzieniu tyle czasu, ja myślałam, że tam oszaleję po prostu. Tam były chyba 2 z siedzenia w więzieniu, czy coś takiego. Ewidentnie.
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade.
Damn.
Effects of the sigil of permission.
Ale ty masz uszy dziwne, matko. Dopiero teraz to zauważyłem.
Before the overlord of the vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion, it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and
Uwielbiam Madame Pink, naprawdę.
some recognition, don't you agree?
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh?
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to
Jezus
protect
Maria, jak
Liyue
długo.
3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as
Jo,
it
a
was
teraz mam
all
taki
those
pomysł,
years
o
ago.
Jezu. Imagine.
Do not merely
Fanfiction
cast a protective gaze upon the land.
z jakimś tam, nie wiem, powiedzmy
Instead,
wymyśloną
focus
postacią,
your
która
sights
powiedzmy
on
by
our
na przykład
city and
należała do
each of the
takich
citizens
adeptusów,
that
czy po
dwell
prostu
within it.
stworzeń powiedzmy śmiertelnych,
Are you questioning
który
our means of
zakochuje
protecting
się
Liyue?
w powiedzmy, nie wiem, w śmiertelniczce i przez to, że on może właśnie żyć bardzo długo, wiecznie i tak dalej, to na przykład cały czas świadomy jest tej śmiertelności tej właśnie drugiej osoby i na końcu na przykład po prostu widzi, jak ta osoba umiera, coś takiego. Albo na przykład wcześniej miał właśnie poprzednich, powiedzmy, nie wiem, poprzednie kochanki, kochanków i tak dalej, nie? I teraz po prostu widzi, jak jakaś kolejna ukochana osoba umiera i o matko, to jest taki pomysł na Anks.
In the dream,
Jakbym miał motywację do pisania, to on coś napisał, ale kurczę.
though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
We're all on the same side
Get
here.
another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
When there is this discord between the Guardians and those they were meant to defend. Harmony becomes very difficult to restore.
That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides, because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
This is what we learned in the City of Freedom.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
A to prawda.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right, all right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
I apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millilith. I have come
O
to extend my
kurczę.
thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millilith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and loads of things.
Cóż to za beztroskość.
Pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern ride.
O Jezu, I wish.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
A co to zmienia?
Okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is great.
Jaki ładny soundtrack się włączył. Aha!
But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
They've listened to what the people have said, and they're trying to understand things from their perspective.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons. Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition.
Bardzo możliwe.
Fair enough. Away we shall.
A gdzie żongli? Bo ja się spodziewam, że tu na pewno też będzie seniora.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Qixing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
The Adepti were quite reasonable in the end. You can say that again.
Oh, right! It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing.
Jakiej?
Wanted to unleash the god, so he could lure Rex Lapis out.
I co, twierdzi, że Rex Lapis sobie gdzieś tam chodzi?
But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never...
On chyba teraz sprzedaje swoje Gnosis Seniorze, nie? W banku.
Don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death too? Hyman doesn't get it. But isn't the strongest lead we have the Adeptiless Rite of Parting that we're organizing? No idea where Zhongli's gone. Let's ask for him at Wangshan Funeral Parlor.
Ja się spodziewałam, gdzie on może siedzieć tak właściwie.
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in
Rozumiem.
receive guests.
Tam była skrzynka za tym, czym się wydawało. Ja już może po prostu źle widzę za zmęczenie.
It seems he went to Northland Bank.
A ja wiem.
Belong to the Fatui? Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue?
Ja myślę, że on wie o tym bardzo dobrze.
At a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
A jest tu skrzynka. Jednak mi się nie wydawało, że coś widziałem. Let's go. Zobaczymy seniorę.
You call this cooperation between harbingers? Cooperation involves communication, you know.
Jej outfit jest prześliczny, szczerze powiedziawszy.
Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities?
I poza tym jestem ciekaw, co to jest to takie białe, co lewituje wokół niej. Bo to wygląda trochę jak pół serca.
Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
A patrząc, że ona chyba się posługuje, o Boże, nie wiem, deluzją? Albo może iluzją właśnie kraju? Co by właśnie... Seniora.
It's you two. I believe we've met once
Jestem ciekaw, czy to jakby pół złamane serce może coś... Znaczy, czy teraz tak spekuluję, ale czy to może nie oznacza tego, jak ona tam chyba straciła tego swojego ukochanego? Czy jakoś tak? Czy mi się może coś źle wydaje właśnie? Brief, just stay calm. O Jezu. Nie wiem, ja chyba mam jakieś uwielbienie albo soft spot po prostu do blond postaci. No co, Nawia, seniora, kto jeszcze, Boże? Nie pamiętam połowy, ale wiem, że z Wiedźmina na pewno coś się znajdzie.
Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all.
Jasne, jasne.
You may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on.
Seniora z Zhongli?
So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here.
Co te kryształy tak właściwie na ich szyi oznaczają? Ale mi szkoda teraz seniory w sumie. Gnosis? Bo kurczę, seniora jest świetną postacią, ale całe to jej w ogóle zabicie w Inazumie jest dla mnie tak bezsensowne i leniwe. Tak samo jak w ogóle cały ten, nie wiem, Redemption Arc A, czy jakoś tak. Nie wiem, to może być też kwestia tego, że ja po prostu A nie lubię i nie przepadam za nią. So Zhongli is actually Rex Lapis? Nie no, a z wywiadu, gratuluję dedukcji.
What? So you're the Lord of Chio? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
And why did you find your death?
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you and splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Lyric goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see, am I right?
Wait, what?
To coś, co nosi seniora na oku, w sumie bardzo mi się kojarzy z bardzo żałobnym czymś.
As you
Nie wiem,
know,
jej outfit jest tak
I've
ładny,
dwelt upon
Boże.
this world
Chciałbym
for more
wiedzieć o
than
niej
6,000
więcej.
years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
Ja jestem teraz trochę dystansu speakerz, nie wiem co powiedzieć w
As I
sumie.
began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer, so I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Qixing to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
So, were you satisfied with the final? Let me guess, you had another plan in case it all burned down.
Indeed I was. The gnosis which I had kept for so many years suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right, which is why I continued to safeguard the gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Jezus Maria.
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Qixing, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, traveler.
Ja też się
All of
cieszę.
these things turned out as I had planned. There is only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Huh? That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
I think that thanks would be more appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo-Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking me like that? Are you itching for a fight?
We were both equally fooled. You've really embarrassed yourself this time.
Haven't you learned the Liyue saying, don't always call it as you see it?
Well then, with a gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapoljarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come.
Fine. I'll meet you there later. I'm not sharing a boat with the likes of you.
Do as you wish.
Jezu, mój kot robi jakieś dziwne rzeczy aktualnie. Ja nie wiem. Zdziczała.
Now then, is there anything else you wish to ask me?
Czy jest coś? I'd like to know what a cryo-archon offered you. Oh!
Right! As Jean
No.
always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
No.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it.
W sumie to ma sens.
My agreement with the Cryo-Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo-Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future.
Kurczę! Jasny gwint, a myślałem, że czegoś dowiem się o cryo-archonie, no cóż. I co, to już zaraz koniec, mam rozumieć.
Today's the day of the rite of parting. Although the star of the show is fake, we spent so much time trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
Matko, jakie uwielbiam tą muzykę z Liyue. W ogóle uwielbiam soundtrack z Genshina, tak samo jak po prostu kocham soundtrack z Wiedźmina, matko. Zwłaszcza z Wiedźmina trójki. Jeżeli chodzi właśnie o to są. Ale z dwójki, z prologu bodajże, jak jest się tam na tym zamku lawaletów i się walczy. O Jezu, tam jest taka świetna muzyka! Albo jak jest się też w Pontar i w tych tam lasach okolicznych, to też. Dosłownie uwielbiam w Wiedźminie dwójce najbardziej prolog, jak pierwszy po prostu szewkis, to jest wszystko. A jeżeli chodzi o Wiedźmina 1, to zdecydowanie soundtrack z Nocy w Zimie jest. No nocą w zimy jest creepy, bardzo nawet, ale też śliczna. Dobra, czyli takie tam pierdzielenie o Chopinie, chyba się nic konkretnego nie dowiemy w sumie. Czemu ktoś go nazwał Bigfooted?
So Rex Lapis is really... But they didn't catch the culprit, did they? Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person?
Kto wie?
What I think. I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think
High in rank? Child jest chyba najniżej w ranku, jeżeli mówimy o stricte harbingerach. No chyba, że oni tam jeszcze mają inny ranking, gdzie dzieli się właśnie tych głównych 11 harbingerów, jakichś, nie wiem, mniejszych i tak dalej.
They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks... Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
Hear ye all! The Qixing's words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, But both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors or indulge in baseless speculation.
Okej.
Paimon needs a translation on what the Chising's announcement said.
They said that Rex Lapis wasn't murdered.
So that's how they're spinning it. Something feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. Could the Chising already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead?
Może coś podejrzewają.
Said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
That's possible.
Exactly, right? Ooh, seems like the rite of parting has been going on for a while now.
Jezu, przysięgam, że nienawidzę w gębarze tego, nie wiem, jak się klika Windows i G. W moim przypadku to limit nagrywania w tym gębarze jest tylko 2 godziny.
As said previously, Rex Lapis's
Ale długi
soul
jest ten quest w
returning to
sumie.
the heavens is the end of the contract.
Będę musiał to, nie wiem, czy to jakoś potnę, czy może ja to pewnie jakoś po prostu skrócę, żeby to było poniżej 2 godzin w sumie.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. But blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say
To już
farewell.
koniec?
Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianquan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Oh.
Yikes! She really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
Jeszcze jak?
So young.
The Liyue Chising always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price.
O,
You deserve that much.
kurczę. Nice. Jak ja bardzo kocham te wszystkie Archon Questy z Sumeru, no może oprócz tych początkowych.
Could you help me put up some missing person posters?
I to tyle? Final Farewell? Matko.
And to think I'd put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it.
Że mogę stąd iść?
But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex.
To chyba dobrze?
Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
Mogę stąd iść. Mam pick me up, I'm scared.
Rex Lapis. Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Kto wie, co kto lubi, nie?
As for the mortals and adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
Nie chciałem wejść na ten stół, szczerze powiedziawszy. Przypadkowo. O, żongli to na pewno będzie koniec. Wiem, bo już poznaję. Mam jakieś takie flashbacki z Wietnamu teraz. Ale się muzyka włączyła. O, jacie piernicza.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
Why would I not feel more at ease? after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years. Right. If the two of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shin.
No i pewnie ja to muszę za to zapłacić, nie?
That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some third-round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinyue kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right.
Ah,
I do like the
but why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do.
No patrz.
When I was journeying with you, though I still had the Gnosis in hand, I knew that I must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had
To ma sens nagle.
But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other.
Szczerze, ja bym tego tak nie nazwał, ale niech ci będzie.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax could never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue.
It was a fine journey.
That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the
A no, jeszcze długa droga przed nami.
Continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
O kurde, who's the god who rules Inazuma?
The Electro Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue prefer to call me Rex Lapis.
No tak, Inazuma to też będzie nasz kolejny ten. Droga po Kaźmie.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Right?
Nie pamiętam, gdzie żeśmy to słyszeli.
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
Myślę, że dopiero pójdziemy do Inazumy potem, jak załatwimy Kazma całego. The Shogun?
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't.
To ile tak szczerze my tu siedzimy?
Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
Terror.
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with fear.
Ciekawe w sumie.
This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Tibet see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes. It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders.
No mówię, to jest terror. Pewnie to bardzo mogli dobrze poprowadzić, ale oczywiście, że zmienili na Raiden na I can fix her.
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animo Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal being.
Damn.
The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity.
Najbardziej mnie chyba ciekawią w sumie relacje Caritzy z resztą.
She must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles.
Heavenly principles.
All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
Yeah, about that. Before the Qixing made their announcement...
These are indeed false accusations. But I've heard that Ningguang is busy milking that for all it's worth on the foreign... Those poor Snezhnayan diplomats. If it were not for Child's All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know? Well,
Dobra, kończmy to już.
I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this.
Nie wiem, myślę, czy pójść najpierw do Kazmu i później Inazuma, czy może najpierw Inazuma, potem Kazm. A, nie wiem, muszę się zastanowić nad tym. Jeszcze jest dużo czasu, nie? Zanim my zrobimy questa z Kazuchą, nie? A new star approaches. Cholera. Matko, to już jest koniec. No ładnie, ładnie. Chcę po prostu trochę odroczyć Inazumy jak najbardziej w czasie. A jak na razie dziękuję wam bardzo serdecznie za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się i do kolejnego odcinka. Cześć!